right, class, today we will be learning about similes. Similes are a type of figurative language that make comparisons of two things using the words like or as, okay? As you know, figurative language refers to the use of words or phrases that are meaningful but not literal, okay? Similes can help us understand what the reader is trying to tell us in regards to the meaning of the text. We will start today's lesson by looking at some similes and discussing what you think they mean. Then we will analyze a few different sentences / passages containing similes, and you will all discuss what they mean in the context of the text. We're going to start today's lesson by watching a video on similes. It's just a YouTube video that discusses the meaning of similes and a couple examples. So after I watch the video, I'll ask, did anybody learn anything new from the video? Now that you're more familiar with what similes are, let's take a look at some examples using the word as. While I read these, I want you to try to figure out what they mean. So think in your head when I read these, what are they trying to say? As cold as ice, as fast as a cheetah, as deep as the ocean. All right, so think about those for a few minutes. All right, now let's look at some similes that use the word like. I want you to continue to think about what each means when I read them. Swims like a fish, sleeping like a baby, eats like a pig. All right, now I'm going to try to identify a simile within a sentence. I'm going to write on the board, my sister and I fight like cats and dogs all the time. All right, I know since I see the word like, there is a simile in this sentence. I want everyone to take a moment to try to identify the simile in your head. Once you have it, give me a thumbs up. All right, the simile in the sentence is fight like cats and dogs. So now I'm going to think to myself, what does this simile mean? I know it doesn't literally mean the siblings are fighting like a cat and a dog, but I do know that cats and dogs don't get along. So the simile is telling me that the siblings do not get along. All right, now I'm going to give each table group a short story that contains a simile. With your group members, I want you to discuss what you think the simile means. Then I want you to come up with how you think the simile contributes to the story. Be prepared to read your short story to the class, as well as identify the simile and share its meaning. So I'll give each table group a really short story that has the simile in it. After about 10 minutes of free talk and all that fun stuff, we're going to come back as a group. While the students are working, I'm going to walk around and answer any questions. All right. Okay, guys, let's bring it back. Which group would like to share first? All right. So when you are presenting, you're going to start by sharing your short story. What simile did you identify in your story? And can you explain its purpose in the story? And then we'll repeat that for all groups. All right. So for the independent practice, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We have this worksheet right here. So the students are going to read the passage and identify 3 examples of similes within the passage and underline the example and explain the meaning below. So there's multiple similes within the passage. There's actually 6. So they're going to go through, they're going to highlight each of the 6 similes, and then they're going to choose 3, say what it compares what with, and then the meaning behind it. And then as far as the guided practice goes, this would be an example of the short story that I would share with the students. So it says, my dog Shadow is always hungry. No matter how often I feed her, she always eats like a pig. One day she ate so much she almost choked. After that, we had to start giving her only a little bit of food at a time. So the students would identify eats like a pig. And then all the short stories are going to have similes that are similar or like length similar to that.